G'day guys, welcome to my Smartest Feature video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about NRL Round 10 predictions for 2020 guys. Let's get started. So starting off with this first match of this game, we see the Roosters going up against Raiders. Now last year they played in the grand final, and last time the Roosters won, I think 8 points to 6 I believe, or I'm not too sure because I think it was 10 or 20 points, well, I think it was 18 points to 6, but I think the Roosters are a really good team, which they built into that squad. They also got really good players such as Brett Morris, Josh Morris, Matt Iguavalu, who scored 5 or 4 tries, which I believe that he is an absolute good player, which I reckon he will stand out. But I'm not too sure if he is playing tonight. I don't believe so. That's maybe possible if he is. But James Tedesco is a real good player for the fullback, and I reckon he'll suit that squad all the time when he plays for different other clubs. Or I'm actually saying like against other clubs. But really for the Raiders though, I just think they are a really good squad, but sometimes they do have difficulties playing up against different clubs and different teams. But what I can say about this team for the Raiders though, they are a really hard team to beat, but without Josh Hodgson is out and injured, and I don't think he'll be playing for a number of weeks or months due to a ACL injury, I believe. I'm not too sure. It was last week that he was injured. So I think the Raiders will have difficulties with that. But really, Bailey Simonsson, I think he's out. By replacing it is, I think, a new player, a dark guy, which means that he's going to come into that squad and fill in for Bailey Simonsson. But I'm going to go with the Roosters on this one. I think they're going to win by 2 tries, but missing a goal in that match. And I'm going to go with them by 10 points, and I reckon they will win this match fair and square, and I reckon they will win this match by pride and obviously with their heart and soul anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Storm going up against the Titans. Now, I think this game will be a really brutal game, but the Melbourne Storm are a really top team that just carries on with the win. But sometimes they do lose, only if you're going up against the Roosters. But saying for this one, though, what I can say about this game, it will be a big thrashing, I believe, because going up against Titans, they do struggle a little bit, but they came up on top last week. But sometimes they do really come up on top and obviously make a good win. But going up against Melbourne Storm, I don't think they will win for this match. It will be hard going up against the Melbourne Storm because Melbourne Storm are a really good team, and they've got Ryan Papenhuyzen, they've got Josh Addo-Carr. Also, I think Suliasi Vunivalu, I think he's playing for that match. I'm not too sure if I believe so. Maybe not, maybe will. But you got Branko Lee, Paul Momirovski. Yeah, he's filling in for number 4, I think, which I believe so. He is a really good player. I just think he does great for the club, and I really think he does a wonderful career if he plays for the Melbourne Storm in the season. But I think he is a really good player for filling into that squad anyway. But I'm going to go with the Melbourne Storm by 20 points, and I reckon that this game will be a big thrashing, and I think it will by a couple of points. Maybe 3 tries and a penalty goal will definitely get them on a big win anyway. But I'm just going to say I'm going to go with the Melbourne Storm anyway. I reckon that this game will be a really tight game, but if the Titans can obviously bring a really good game to their team, I just don't think they will beat the Melbourne Storm anyway, because they have really struggling players that just doesn't get things right sometimes. But I really do hope that they make a really good season for their club anyway. The next game of this match, we see the West Tigers going up against the Broncos. Now, this game will be a really tight match. The Broncos are a really good team, but they heard that Corey Oates is basically coming in for shifting the jerseys around, which that means that he's coming in for number 12, which I don't believe that Alex Clam will be playing in the season. And fulfilling that, the Broncos are a really good team. But it's just how the way you want to build up your momentum in that game and like any other games. And I just think the Broncos are a really good squad that just fulfills different types of how the way you want to play your balls like right anyway. But I think that Xavier Coates is doing really well into that squad. I reckon he's going to have a wonderful career and credit to him anyway. I just think he will do a wonderful job for the Broncos, and I think he will because he scores like a number of tries anyway, and I reckon he does a really good lot of defenses, a lot of tries, and a lot of like interceptions. That means he's probably like one of the fastest players in that game anyway. But for Jermaine Asako anyway, I think he is a really good player that I think he's going to fill in for that squad. But what I can say in this match for the West Tigers though, since they've lost Corey Thompson, I think they're going to be really struggling a little bit, but I do think that this game was going to put on a really good job for them to basically win up against the Broncos anyway. But I do fulfill that this game's going to be a massive turnaround for this club. But really, it's going to be a hard thing to say, like, oh, if they're going to win, if they're going to lose, or if they're going to, like, fulfill, like, any other clubs or anything like that. But I reckon that this game will be a really tight matchup, and I reckon that this match will certainly be a really tight match anyway, but I'm going to go with the West Tigers by 8 points, and I reckon that this game will be a really brutal and tight match anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Dragons going up against the Bulldogs. Now, the Bulldogs are really struggling a little bit, but they are terrible because this team has definitely not aimed up their game properly. But I heard that Dean Pay has obviously quit coaching for the Bulldogs anyway, and I think Trent Barrett will fulfill into that coaching job anyway. And for the Bulldogs, they need to aim up their game if they want to win games of football, and if they want to have their fans like cheering them on and motivating them and saying, oh, well done, oh, great job, Bulldogs, you need to aim up your game right, or something like that. But I just don't think they will get this win up against Dragons, because last week the Dragons really did a wonderful job up against the Manly Seagulls, and I think that they are going to have a wonderful season if they're going to play this game right. But Matt Duffy certainly put on a massive running shoes on, because he's certainly a speedster that just cannot stop any players. But I just don't think that the Bulldogs will certainly be putting a wonderful game up against the Dragons anyway. But I'm going to go with the Dragons by 12 points, and I reckon that this game will be a very tight match, but it won't be a big thrashing, I don't believe. And I bloody think that the Bulldogs will have a really struggling game, and I reckon there'll be injuries, knock-ons, a lot of forward passes, a lot of mishaps, but I just think that it's going to be really bad for them. But I reckon for the Dragons, it's going to be like knock-ons, a lot of drop balls, but I don't think no forward passes will be in for the Dragons. But certainly it will be a tight match in a really hard game of football to put on up against the Bulldogs. So I just think that this game will be a really good match up against the Dragons, but I'm going to go with them by 12 points anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Rabbitohs going up against the Knights. Now, this game will be a very hard game, certainly for them, certainly for the Knights, certainly for the Rabbitohs. But they've got a really good squad, such as Kalen Ponga, Mitchell Pearce, Tex Hoy, you name it, like Edric Lee, but he's injured at the moment. Excuse me. But for the Rabbitohs, though, they've got Latrell Mitchell, Dane Gagai. I'm not too sure what number 5 is, but I do believe... actually, number 6, Cody Walker. They've got Adam Reynolds. They've got Damien Cook. All the speedsters there, which I think that they are going to win this game anyway. But certainly they're going to put a lot of... they've got to put a lot of pressure up against the Newcastle Knights. But the Newcastle Knights are a really difficult team to beat, certainly for the Rabbitohs, but I just think Dane Gagai will have a really good game. I reckon he's going to score 2 tries or maybe 3 tries, and I think that this game will be a really tight matchup. But I'm going to go with the Rabbitohs by 6 points. Certainly it will be a really brutal game of football, and I reckon that this game will turn things around for the Newcastle Knights if they want to win up against the Rabbitohs, because last time the Rabbitohs lost to the Newcastle Knights and then Knights won up against the Rabbitohs, but I don't know what happened there. But certainly I think that this game will be a really tight turnaround if they want to win for this match for the Newcastle Knights. But really, Brandon Best is a really good player. I certainly like him. He is an absolute top player of that team. But certainly is Kalen Ponga too. Certainly is Mitchell Pearce. And I think those 3 players on that game will definitely have a wonderful game of football. But I'm going to go with the Rabbitohs though by 6 points. And I reckon the only try will definitely get a win. Will definitely be the Rabbitohs for a win anyway. The next game of that round, we see the Manly Seagulls going up against my Parramatta Eels. This game will be a certain tight turnaround. Last time I was there at Brookvale Oval certainly was terrible because the Parramatta Eels didn't play their game properly and they were just shocking across the park, and certainly was shocking across the park because they didn't have that entertainment. They didn't lack any focus. But certainly was horrible for them losing that match against the Manly Seagulls. But I think they are a really top team, the Parramatta Eels, but certainly they are a really good team. I think Wonga Blake will definitely have a great game, certainly will Dylan Brown. I reckon Jai Field will have a wonderful matchup. He's playing absolutely spectacular across the park. Number 7, filling in for Mitchell Moses. He will have a wonderful game soon when he plays, Mitchell Moses, when he comes back. But at the moment it's Jai Field anyway. But really it's because the Manly Seagulls lost a couple of players, which means Dylan Walker and Tom Trbojevic. But filling in for Tom Trbojevic will be Brandon Elliott. And then Clint Gutherson will definitely be in the number 1 fullback anyway. But I'm going to go with my Parramatta Eels by 14 points. I just think it will be a firing up match, but certainly it will be because the Parramatta Eels will definitely be a hard team to obviously win because they are obviously on first place. But I just think that this game will be a tight turnaround, and I just think it will be an upset for that match. I reckon that this game will definitely turn things around though, but Manly Seagulls will just be struggling in that game, and I don't think that the Manly Seagulls will win this game anyway, but I'm going to go with my Parramatta Eels by 14 points anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Warriors going up against the Sharks. Now this game is going to be a really tied up match, and the Warriors are just struggling a little bit. And they are. I feel so sorry for them because Cam Mamalo will be leaving the Warriors and returning home, which I got told that he will be by like rumours and stuff like that. But let's leave it at that. Let's move on from that anyway. I'll be talking about this game, and it will be a really good matchup for the Sharks because I think that the Sharks will basically win this game by a tight turnaround because last time this game will be like last time they versed the Warriors. Sean Johnson played a wonderful game, and he's basically versing his former club anyway, like the Warriors. And I just think it will be a really hard game of football, but I just think Sione Katoa will be scoring like 3 tries or 2 tries, which I think that this game will be a really tight turnaround. But I'm just thinking that if this game's going to be a really tight match, what else could you do? But for the Sharks, Chad Townsend will be, I think, fulfilling in. But no Matt Moylan. I believe Josh Dugan will be in the fullback squad, I think, again, unless if Matt Moylan is going back into the fullback squad, I believe. But I just think this game will be a tight turnaround. Certainly will be, and I don't think that the Warriors will win this game. So I'm going to go with the Sharks by 18 points. I reckon 3 tries will definitely win this game by a long shot. But certainly, I reckon that the Warriors will definitely struggle in this match, and because they are not focusing enough, and I reckon that this game will be a really good win for the Sharks anyway. And last but certainly not least, we see the Panthers going up against the Cowboys. Now, this game will be a really firing up game, but last time the Cowboys played, they were really good, I believe, and now they are turning really bad, and they're just not playing strong enough than they were. They're losing Valentine Holmes, which is a big blow for their squad and their club. But it will be if they keep losing their good players. So Hamasai Tupuai-Fida will be fulfilling in number 1. And Justin O'Neill will definitely be on number 5. And certainly will Mitch Dunn, I think, will be in number 6. But in this game, though, I just don't think that the Cowboys will win this match. If they do, it will be a tight turnaround and it will be a tight finish. But certainly, for the Panthers though, they are a great team and they certainly put on a lot of fight up against different types of clubs and different teams. But when they first, the Cowboys, I just think they will win this game. And I'm going to go with them by 8 points. I'm just going to go with Panthers by 8 points, sorry. I just think that this game will be a really tight turnaround. But if it will be a firing up match, I'm not going to say anything. But I don't think that the Cowboys will definitely win this game. But certainly though, what I can say in this match, I reckon that this game will be a really tight turnaround. But I'm going to go with the Panthers by 8 points, and I reckon that this game will be a tight up finish in this match, but certainly will be, and I reckon that this game will be a hard game going up against the Cowboys anyway. Thanks for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. I will be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care, guys. Stay safe and have a good one. Plus, let's get up to 200 subscribers. We're seeing on 165 already. That's halfway anyway. So let's go up to that, and I'll see you guys next time anyway. Take care and have a good one.